bad morning. Zombie Elch reporting in. Today has been a shitty day so far, and I didn't even get enough sleep. I slept like maybe 4.5 hours. So I woke up after like 2 hours in the morning, couldn't sleep, and then I went to see through the VOD. Oh, please don't die, stream. Don't make me restart. Okay, he's alive. I went to see what happened to Roman, because it's been bugging me out. Where is the Roman gone? I'm not crazy. I recruited the Lord. I named him Roman, a cunning general of the Empire, and something happened to him. You might have discovered some new rare game-breaking bug. And then I went to the VOD twice, and I managed to find Roman. And I even made a highlight. You guys remember yesterday? This is too loud. You guys remember yesterday? I was looking where the hell Roman is. The Lord we recruited, not King Roman. And people were saying, it was not the Lord I recruited. It was a hero, cunning hero recruited. And I made a highlight. Look at this. I made a highlight. 4 hours. The 4 hours somewhere. Look at this. I'm recruiting Roman. I'm not crazy. This will be a little bit more tankier. Keeping for later. Look at that. Roman there. I recruited Roman and I disbanded him, put him back in the roller pool. He exists. He existed. And then I went into the game when I found the Roman to see if he's there. Maybe I missed him, and the game bugged out. Ping on. These things happen, but it's really rare, and I don't know why it happened. Maybe it's maybe because of this Lord bugged out, disappeared, or something else. But campaign just wouldn't load. It's gone. Got so pissed I installed the game and I had to install it again. And guys, I need your help. Go to my videos and find the Empire 1 and 2, and about 4 hours, 40 minutes when I recruited Roman. Can you look in the next remaining stream to look where the Roman is gone? We played this campaign over 8 hours. I'm not restarting, and I don't wanna touch or see Emperor for at least 2 months. We haven't had a campaign bug out since that dwarf campaign. I think was like 15 campaigns. These things happen. Nearly 4,000 hours. It was like 7 times now. It was way more common in Rome 2. But Cookies, who has more hours in this game than me, 4,500 hours, have never had this happen to him. If you don't count the event Pirate Code bugs, he never had a bug like this. We had the campaign crash for various reasons. I had a crashing on the autosave. Even Windows crashed just once before we were about to take last city, and the campaign corrupted. We had reinforcements not having room, bugging out, crashing, corrupting the save. And if we don't count the event Parkour bugs, which corrupted 3 campaigns in a row, it happened like 7 times in 4,000 hours. I mean, that's rare. But some people never had this happen to them. Maybe it's related to running a streaming software in the background. Some bugs with the Windows 10 and the game combined with the streaming. But in 4,000 hours, 7 times happened. It was like almost a perfect start. Everything was going so nicely. and game said like, no, you won't have this campaign. This is another Emperor campaign gone. This is like the third Emperor campaign we lost to a bug. And you know me, guys, I wouldn't do anything in like shady, like deleted the save or something like this. Is Empire. If I don't want to play a campaign, I would just say it. I don't want to play the campaign, and we're moving on. But bugging, just frustrating. And I do want to look where the Roman is gone. So guys, please help me. Go check Empire Part 1. Around 4 hours and 40 minutes, I think, when we recruited Roman. After that, please check the video. And I want to see if this is some kind of new bug. But you know what's crazy? In the campaign before, Bretonian campaign before, we recruited like 100 lords. Not even 100 lords, something like that. Maybe this, unconventional way of playing the game kind of adds up over time and it just bugs the game. Cookies didn't have anything in 4,500 hours. Maybe he just doesn't play the game like I do. And these things happen to me more often because I play the game differently. Let me just clear my ASMR history so you guys don't judge. Let's check this video. This video has not been released yet. We're gonna go check out. We're gonna go check out this. When I recruited Roman, I have a think. Hold on. Just 1 second. I love Emperor campaigns, and but starting another campaign right now, I just feel like I don't want to start another Emperor campaign. So that campaign is over. Not restarting. We play over 8 hours gone. And I really hated it when we just get another timeline, just like nothing happened. Especially because we haven't lost the campaign, we haven't got a closure, we haven't won the campaign. It just started over like nothing happened. I just can't do that. I did this once before when the first ever campaign in Warhammer 2 bugged out. It was a bug with the turn processing, and it was just not finished processing on the Lizardman turn. It was in the early access of Warhammer 2. It bugged out on turn processing of Lizardman turn, and we just couldn't continue the game. Instead of trying, to million times enter and enter. This happened before even. You guys remember that time? It was crashing on turn processing as well. But after going through loading game million times, finally process the turn. By that time, I restarted. I went with Teclis again. I was enjoying myself too much, and I didn't want to, end the campaign like that. But I don't really want to restart a campaign that just got glitched, I want to go playing something else instead. This campaign is over. Rubio as the cursed man of the months. Deal bro took pity on him and gave him one of his men of the months. Very good, nice of him. But please guys, no Emperor for at least 2 months. It's just... Maybe we encountered some kind of rare bug. I don't know, I hope it's not the case. I hope it's something else. I'm just looking for the time here. 4 hours 26 minutes. Sorry for waiting. 4 hours 26 minutes. I spent, instead of sleeping, I spent 3 or 4 hours doing this, and I barely slept this today. Barely slept. So around 4 hours 26 minutes, if you go look in the first part of the video, I recruited Roman. This might be what caused the campaign to bug. So look at this. I recruited Roman here. 4 hours 26 minutes. Please guys, go check the first video after 4 hours 26 minutes and check for the rest of the Emperor campaign. Where the hell the Roman has gone? I want to see if he just bugged out, glitched, and this might be the cause why the Empire the game corrupted, the game bugged out. You see, I recruited Roman there. He exists. He exists, and which will confirm it that he exists by finding this here. Oh, hold on, hold on. Oh, look at that. Candidates Roman. He's here. He exists. Roman is here. So what the hell happened to Roman? Where did he gone? So Roman is here, you see him? And he was still here for a while. I went through this and I just couldn't find the reason why he disappeared. So guys, if somebody has a little bit more time, you guys can go a little bit slower and see what happened to Roman. This happened after we lost that Salzmund defense against the Beastmen. So he didn't die in a event. Yes. This was 10:24. He was waiting to get back in the pool. Finishing him off. Okay. Meal got lucky. It was such a nice start, guys. I'm so sad. I didn't even want to play the game today. It's probably one of those things on Legend, just like, you know, sometimes happens, and you have. Okay, let's see. If you go to 4:45, Roman is still here. 4 hours 45 minutes, Roman is still here. I feel like when we confederate our backland, Roman bugged out, and he disappeared. Turns. Well, helpful technology, not extra units, so we don't want out. Guys, please check the VOD after 4 hours 45 minutes. Go slowly and see if you guys can see what happened to Roman. I think we encountered some new rare glitch, and it bugged the campaign. I hope this is not the case, cause I'm scared to recruit lords now. Oh no. He was in the Lord list 447 because he takes 5 turns to come there. Because he's waiting to come back to duty. You cannot recruit him, how? This is before we recruit the second army. This is the first part of the campaign. When you recruit a lord, that lord is automatically added to the pool. And the only way this lord disappears is when he dies. He'll come back after 5 turns. Also, guys, remember me bitching about character traits for nearly 2 years? The creative assembly finally, you know, listened, or, you know, haven't listened at all, and they finally decided to buff traits. Nearly 1/3 of the shitty traits have been made into strong traits across all factions. Yes, yeah, I, you know, spoiled myself watching Fandom's early access, ruined everything, and I don't even like Malus's campaign already. So we got a lot of traits buffed. Some shitty traits are still shitty, but a lot of traits have been buffed. You know how I say the main trait of the character should be, defining trait of the character should be strong. Well, they did it on a lot of traits, but still there is a lot of traits that are shitty. This is coming with an update in a few days. Strong is actually a strong trait now, Adrius. It's like 15 armor, 5 attack, and 10% damage.
6.
I'm looking at what happened to Roman, trying to go a little bit slower, because I don't want to play anything right now. Still also waking up. Probably can hear my voice. Had like 4 hours of sleep.
Ready, so she'll save. This goat is amazing.
Man, this is such a nice campaign, man. Look at this turn 25. Look at this turn 25. I'm so sad.
This Rebels thing is gonna be nasty.
Yeah, this campaign is gone. Look at this. Roman is here. 4 hours, 54 minutes, 29 seconds. Roman is here. Roman is here. So he still exists at 4 hours, 54 minutes, 29 seconds. He's still here. This is where we recruit Scotty. 4 hours, 55 minutes. Only 4 hours, cause I couldn't sleep, cause the campaign got bugged out. I just watch this video from the start. I don't want to repeat myself.
They unless electors go to war. Sword here, of course. This is nice.
This might be just a rare bug with the Empire, reworked Empire system. Well, the game has weird bugs from time to time, and they go away after some time. Like, the weirdest bug I ever experienced was in Warhammer 1, which never had a bugged campaign. We had over 70 campaigns in Warhammer 1, 2800 hours, and I don't remember a single bugged campaign like it was happening like before Rome 2, once in Attila. And the weirdest bug we encountered was one update. Disbanding a lord would cause the game to crash. 100% reproducible every time. And it was like that for a few weeks. In Rome 2, there was this is how the campaign would corrupt. This is how it would corrupt in Rome 2.
The game better not.
This is how the game is lost on legendary to a corruption, but in Rome 2 would basically just freeze, looped, always looped, and never able to continue. While in Warhammer 2 the game just crashes, and eventually the save corrupts and you don't see the save anymore.
26 more minutes here.
When something bad happens.
Oh, my bad, we're gonna go gamble.
Look at this.
Gamble our miseries. Nice battle, bro. Come on,
this
man.
was like Rome 2 every
best Total War 4 years ago,
300 hours or something.
This was Warhammer 4 years ago. This was Warhammer 4 years
Look at this. In Rome 2 the game doesn't crash. It's just, it's frozen and looped. Every time you reload it, it's the same. You just can't continue. These things do happen in Legendary, but happen in weird ways in Warhammer 2, not like this.
Oh, come on!
If the game can't continue, it just does this. But not like in Rome, like what you said in Rome 2. Anyway, everybody knows this video. We're not gonna continue watching it. If you wanna watch, check it in the link in the chat.
Oh my god!
Taking time flux. I have not seen any other streamer that this happened to. I think I only seen Valbill. This only happened to Valbill. You guys remember Valbill TV? So he would pretty much load campaign, and instead of campaign finishing loading, it's just kicking back to main menu. This is the first time that happened to me like that. It would just otherwise crash on the trying to load the game.
Be easy.
We were using a 3 times chaos mode, but I don't think that matters. It worked fine. That mode just edits one number in the file, makes chaos 3 times. And if you manage to finish 10 times chaos campaigns, scratch that, 3 times chaos campaigns without an issue, I doubt it's that. It's some rare bug for sure.
Fortify right now.
Happened for you too, Cart. So you would try to load the campaign, you just get kicked to the main menu. Did you use any mods when that happened to you? No, we were talking about the old bug, Amir. Old bug from Warhammer 1. I mean, Warhammer 1 had some strange things. Like gyrocopters tier 3, my bad. Gyrocopters tier 3 and this bending lords crashing the game. We went through that.
You would actually stomp us in the open.
No, I loaded another campaign, Lord Drago, it worked fine.
This is a guy who's incredibly hard to kill with
I loaded another campaign, it was fine. I think this bug is related to a Lord bugging out. So you didn't have mods and you couldn't start a new campaign either. Well, let's see. I haven't tried starting a new campaign.
We must preserve this world.
It looks like it works fine. I did reinstall the game though. I just got so mad I just uninstalled the game. And like 50 minutes later I installed it again. This is a fresh install. Instead of me sleeping like a baby, was mad trying to see what the fuck happened to the campaign. See, it's fine. No fapping on Tyrion. So guys, help me out. Go to the part 1 of the Emperor video after 5 hours and go slowly see if something happened to Roman. If you can find a point in the campaign when the Roman disappeared.
second arm. Well,
this might not be what caused the campaign to bug out, but I think it is. It's some kind of rare bug with Confederation.
we have a ram already.
This is karma, guys. This is karma. Us cheesing Kappa, spending hundreds of thousands of gold, recruiting rank 1 lords to finish Carcassonne campaign. You guys, you see the finish end of Carcassonne campaign. We needed like 500 Shiori, and we recruited hundreds of lords. Not 100, but it was like 50 lords, and they were all there. They were all there. It's like the lord pool was huge. Nobody disappeared, and now we go here. We have 2 lords in the pool, and one of them bugs out. It was like almost a perfect Emperor campaign. think in part 1 he was here all the time. He disappeared in part 2.
So you have to forfeit Gorsel first. It's not as critical to hold.
And the funny thing, I was asking, you know, if we could have a button which would permanently remove the lord from the game. The only way this can happen, according to game design, is if you have one of those events, and he was the random lord chosen from the pool to help defend the Emperor State from the attack from the Skaven or the Beastmen or the Norska, and he dies there. This is the only way I think he can disappear. Oh man. Today was supposed to be a nice day, expanding the empire, murdering things, and you have zombie Elich
Attempted harassing.
in bad mood.
I mean, well,
Man, they fucked up. I mean, my bad. They kinda ruined the vampires. You know who they, the devs. The devs ruined the vampires, so the game is crashing occasionally. Heck, we can't even enjoy vampires anymore. They ruined Chaos, they ruined the Beastmen, it's like an end gameplay. I don't even. I used to have, you know, fun replay value with shifting those campaigns. And now that the Emperor can happen this with the rework, it's everything feels like so half-assed. It's like we're supposed to play like the flavor of the month factions and nothing else until everything else gets fixed or something. Damn, man.
baby. Update.
It's so sad.
To save the so
This is even worse than when the game crashed when we spawned that army there in the River Reich and corrupted the save. They do care about what happened in one of factions, but it seems like you know, it feels like there's always a set of factions they focus on, but this rare bugs, you know, they don't play this for thousands of hours. Their people maybe play it for hundreds of hours. If any testing is done, you know, playing the game outside the meta, clicking, you know, buttons basically,
just raised that cell.
and testing through statistics, and not really through actually playing the game. And you know, these things, I don't think these things would happen if you play on a difficulty outside legendary. So they probably haven't even tested everything on legendary. Because this is a rare bug on legendary. This wouldn't happen because, you know, you had auto saves, other saves with a regular campaign. You know, you can actually save the game when you want. So this is you know, just you know, bad thing that can happen in legendary.
As much as we could.
Just so sad when you lose a campaign like this and you don't even get closure. You just wanna whine about it. I wish I would just could start a new campaign like nothing happened, but you know, guys, this game is my life. Literally spent over 7,000 of my life playing Warhammer series, and over 20,000 of our life playing Total War games. Can't just move on.
Halberdiers.
These bugs, they get to me. They get to me. I don't have early access, and I don't want to do early access, no.
The great outdoors.
Put the Borderman here. Put the Borderman here.
How's the bug? We're trying to find out if it's related to Roman disappearing.
What's my next Zint and archers. Crossbows. Use archers. If there might be multiplayer.
It was such a nice Emperor campaign.
Is it?
We had Reichland turn 4, Helmgard turn 5,
Crossbows is one of the
Wisseland
lowest,
War, Talabekland Confederation was perfect.
They have more range.
Well, there's a gate bug, Hopsel. Units can go through the door. Let's see what happened here. Who was defending this? We hired an urban mercenary. And who was fighting here? Some doesn't even say. We didn't even say who it was. Yeah. Trespassing, Dagobert, or who?
General.
Beautiful thing about some cities is equipped which can fight in melee. It's a chariot type unit with fast and question.
Look at this. This is perfect.
This is what we wanted.
This is perfect. Confederate Talbekland, War of Wisseland.
Steam tank, no war wagon.
This is perfect.
War wagon is should be counted the same as the outer bells. Like what the hell? We should definitely action would be on 4 hard.
Call.
We're looking for Roman English cake.
Just must now. We'll stream it over.
It was such a nice, easy way to open the Galmaraz battle as well.
20 minutes. See you guys in 20.
But this is where the part 1 ended. Let's check part 2. I haven't checked part 2 with the microscope though, so this is somewhere where the Roman disappeared. It might be the what caused the game to bug. .057.
I trust no.
So we got a Preceptor Witch Hunter, perfect for the campaign.
This is when we confederated Talbekland. This is what I also realized.
Preceptor Witch Hunter.
It disappeared somewhere around the Talbekland Confederation.
Campaign. Gate bug. 5 minutes dealing with that. Hey, come bunny.
What?
Lose a leg, and then that's where spaghetti. And you can't rush a big bowl of spaghetti. You have to go through the gate bug, and then that's very hard to chew. Hey, come bunny. Land. Make a move here. We'll send Brest to High Elves via sea, so he doesn't get wounded. I'll send a Rollo with shit wizard.
Equipment check. Sir?
I don't think in Call of Duty it's really rare if it happened. If it happens every single vampire campaign.
Don't switch any.
And the fact the game is unstable, it causes a crash. It's like kills the faction.
Just waiting. Okay.
Huntsman General.
At least on the one turn. And this
We had it happen like 3 times in a single battle. Almost lost it during that battle.
Yet.
Emperor.
Don't care about. Let's see. Economy, treasury up, because with the second army and the quality.
I wonder if we
higher,
open the doesn't look like we did.
They're gonna keep busy.
There's an occasional bug, it just crashes the game.
Going for that. So most
My country.
Using a occasional hack, it crashed the game.
still
Right.
a little bit patience.
My country.
This is fortification time here and then. So should we go stop?
Huntsman. Huntsman General.
His animal for the money.
30 minutes.
Yeah, well,
This is when he disappeared now.
Vigilant to make sure both armies have the.
Oh, he's not here. Yeah, you're right.
Preferably units.
But this doesn't mean Scott is there. Yes, Scott is there. Oh, yeah, look at these guys.
Preferably units.
Turn 32, 30 minutes, part 2. Only Scott there, no Roman. So some Roman this is without even Confederation, before Confederation. So it's not related to Confederation. It might have been related to that help with guild. So 30 minutes, 9 seconds. This is the Electricon pool. Candidates, no Roman. You know, at this point, if I had to guess what happened is there was a bug when the Lord was getting assigned to a battle to help Solent, and he didn't return. He just bugged out. So no Roman at 30 minutes, huh? So, you know, one more time, I woke up after 2 hours. You know, I was like, what the hell happened to Roman? I went through the VODs, tried to find him. I couldn't find him. I couldn't, you know, explain what happened to him. But I found the video. I made a highlight. I recruited Roman. You can see the highlight. We recruited Roman. And he was there until this point. And then I went into the game just to check again. And the game just bugged out, kicked me to the main menu, wouldn't load. And who knows if it's this the case or something else the case, the campaign was just gone. Another campaign lost to the void. Rage quit, uninstall the game, install it again, and spend the next few hours checking through the VODs instead of sleeping. That's why, you know, I'm sad like this and I'm zombie right now and I want to play the game right now. I went to watch Fenron and I spoiled myself with a new Arvid as well. All the great stuff. Was the Misery playing on Legendary, right? Just checking. This campaign was almost perfect. Almost perfect. It was just going too easy. Yeah. Just checking. I don't want to play the game right now. I can't go back to sleep. I'm drinking coffee, yours. I'm drinking it. But coffee can only do so much when you had 4 hours of sleep. I don't want to play anything really. It's like not even Bell Brothers. I'm gonna try to start a winter campaign today. I'm cursed with the Emperor. It's one of my favorite factions to play. I can almost play it every day, as long as it doesn't bug out. We lost Emperor campaign to Crash on the River Reich, save corrupted. We lost the Emperor campaign alongside 3 campaigns total in a row to the Vampire Coast Pirate Cove bug. That was a serious bug in the game. Made me just uninstall the game, play something else. But they fixed it fast, even come with a patch, said it's sorry. But this, Roman gone and the campaign just poof. You know what this feels like to me, guys? If you guys seen, I mean, probably most of you didn't, but Total War Attila, I had the weirdest bugs in that game. That game didn't receive any love, and there's a lot of good things in Attila, but the worst thing is it's just been ignored by the Polish department and the quality assurance. The things I had in that game, settlements underwater while trying to defend, the family trees disappearing, half of the family tree disappearing, the king disappearing from the family tree. Yeah, good times. But the worst thing I had in Attila, in my West Roman Empire campaign, the game didn't even create an autosave. There was no autosave. So the game crashed, and when I got into the game, no autosave. I couldn't load. Maybe it just corrupted and disappeared from the list, but it was still showed there. I never seen that before with a corrupted save. So the only way to explain it, when the game crashed, I went in to load it. There was no save. Just this it didn't even create an autosave. So I was playing the campaign over an hour. There was no autosave. Good old Attila. So one of the Spanish towns was under attack, and I was defending, and it looked like it'd been hit by a tsunami. I think I have a picture somewhere. Just give me a second. I might have a picture. These things never happen to me. I have thousands of hours in the game. How do these things always happen to you? Makes me wonder if people even play these games. Look at this. I'm not crazy. There's a tsunami here. Look at that. Not even Japan. I could sail with my ship only here. Look at this. I'm sailing on top of town. There was no event or anything. Just loaded like this. And I did this map 100 times, and there was no issues before. Have I seen the land boats in Rome? Have I seen... Do you have any idea who you're talking to here? I have seen everything in Rome too. Everything. Have you seen land boats? There's nothing I haven't seen in Rome 2. I even know all the game breaking bugs. Never been fixed. Damn. How many times I've seen that bug, I don't even know how many times. One of my first highlights. Maybe you can actually hear the old LH here. One moment. Have you seen the land boats? Oh man, this has been deleted.
Oh my god. Have you seen that shit? Holy shit. What the hell?
But yeah, I had a highlight. I had a highlight before. Thank you, Big Rick. Appreciate it.
Oh my god. Have you seen that shit? Holy shit. What the hell?
Maybe I have a picture somewhere. Hold on.
Oh my god. Have you seen that shit? Holy shit. What the hell? Oh my god. Have you seen that shit? Holy shit. What the hell?
This one looks nice. Always liked, like when when you can actually see stuff like this.
Oh my god. Have you seen that shit? Holy shit. What the hell?
I have a picture, but I had a highlight. There was a ship sailing on the land.
Have you seen that shit?
The sounds it was making.
What the hell?
Damn. I don't know. I don't know why I deleted that though. Hey, Mike.
Oh my god. Have you seen that shit?
Maybe I can find one on YouTube for you guys to see, that thing. But that was never fixed. It did happen in the new one as well.
Oh my god.
I think you can see
Have
it
you seen
here.
that shit? Holy shit. What the hell?
Basically, instead of ship landing, it would just go to the land. This is it pretty much. Remember, guys, the full game will look better than this.
Have you seen that shit? Holy shit. What
How
the
bad do you
hell?
have to code a game that a shit like this happens? This is just this. Look at this.
Oh
I had
my
one.
god.
My highlight was
Have you seen that
it was a
shit?
big ship sailing through the land. It was making such
What
creaking
the
noises. It
hell?
was scary almost. Oh man, the Black Pearl. The Black Pearl. I used to really enjoy that game at some point. I remember those. I forgot those times actually. Oh man, I don't feel like playing anything right now, but we're gonna start winter to today sometimes. Guys, have any questions? Do them in the chat. We're just gonna chill here. Look at some screenshots. Get some. I can't sleep right now. Can't sleep. I'm drinking coffee already here. Drinking coffee, and there's noise from the kitchen. There's no way I'm gonna be sleeping now. No way. I'm already up. Just zombies. Zombie Ellich. Avert your eyes. God damn, that ruined chaos. Guys, I've seen the new face portrait. Damn, the new face portrait is looks so good. I miss this. I miss this. Look at that, potentially full heal. Guys, M31, I put it on paper. M31 will be Von Karstein's Zombies and Heroes Only. The first Master campaign next year. On the 800 goal. Part of the donation goal for 2020. Also, guys, we seen it on the Fedon stream yesterday. If you don't start as Manfred, Manfred starts with all of Sylvania, Castle Tempelhof, and 4 Oberstyr. So Manfred starts even bigger than the Emperor now. So if you start as the Von Karsteins, there is no Tempelhof. You either have to go fight large Manfred or ally with him. I think I'm gonna wanna look at this screenshot, guys, while I'm finishing my coffee. If you guys have any questions, link in the chat. Ah. This screenshot never gets old. The screenshots never get old. Let me tell you guys, this is a rank 34 Tomb King. Tomb Kings have some of the most disturbing melee expert buffs of all the lords in the game. Even more disturbing than the dwarves. Oh yeah, guys, the dwarves now, Valaya gives additional 5% ward save on top of minus 20 hero harassment. And Grimnir, shit wizard if you're here, Grimnir now gives not just 5 attack, but 5 attack, 5 defense, and 5% physical resistance. You know what Greens has got? One of their traits got like plus 35 weapon damage. This is a Tomb King with a full rare set of gear. This guy could solo this. I would just go AFK and he would just kill all this. He can't even die as a generation. And look at his balance of power. So dwarf heroes are stronger than ever. Ward save, physical resistance, extra melee defense. They buff traits. Guys, they finally did it. They finally did it after me bitching for 2 years. I hope, I was just, small part here that tired of my bitching about the traits. The main traits have been buffed. The Weapon Master is now plus 8 melee attack, 35 armor piercing damage. Tough is 25 armor. Strong, 15 armor, 5 melee attack, 10% weapon damage. One third of the traits, the shitty ones, have been buffed. Discipline, which probably in their set whoring, they see its most used trait, it's remained the same. Confident has been doubled, it's plus 4 leadership now. Most of the traits have been doubled and tripled in value, but some still shitty traits like Determined, plus 3 leadership, and Immune Psychology are still in the game. And the Vampires can still probably get them. The one that gives terror to the Vampires now also give additional leadership penalty to everybody. Dwarves stronger than ever, boys. Dwarves stronger than ever. Valaya and Grimnir have been buffed. And those are the common traits for the dwarves. The Belgar Ghosts have unique traits, so that's fine. The traits are very powerful, they don't need new traits. So, I'm gonna just wanna enjoy this picture, drink a coffee, maybe eat my tuna sandwich. If you guys have any questions, ask in the chat. We're gonna be starting winter campaign today, but not yet. Not yet. If you don't wanna miss it, stay tuned to Twitter posts. I'll post on Twitter when we start. It's gonna be the first winter tour campaign, probably the only winter campaign ever in Warhammer 2. I will say my whole thoughts about that faction and why I'm not playing that faction as well when we start. Can you start saying we need region trading? Well, that's obvious. It's a huge quality of life. What's the difference between very hard and legendary campaign difficulty anyway? You cannot save the game, so the game auto-saves for you, which can cause issues. But it's very rare. The enemy have higher stats, and there are more penalties overall. For example, some of the penalties are not even clear, and you can't even see them. But from doing science, what was the difference between that in Rome 2, for example, which made the enemy heroes have a clear advantage between very hard and legendary. So it could be a lot of stuff like this. But if you want me to go into detail, well, I have never played on a very hard, and I have never played on anything lower than legendary on the campaign difficulty. So I can't really give you the numbers, but there are differences. It's not just you cannot save, you have limited camera, minimap, no minimap, stuff like that. There are different differences. If you could be a girl for a day, what would you do? Oh man, it's like the Monkatos, moving on, next question. Am I gonna make a troll flavor army? Of course. There's no reason to play Winter unless you play the Troll Flavor Army. It's a try-hard faction that has only, that flavor army, that's it. It's a weird, weak faction. Like Wolfric is better in every way. Have I seen the Witcher trailer like 50 times? Did I see Phoenix Point gameplay trailer? No, don't really care about that. Not really into XCOM games that much anymore. Used to love the UFO Aftermath and Aftershock. What about knowledgeable? Still the same, Amir. If I missed your question, guys, just repeat it. Describe taste of coffee. It's really good. It's really good. This coffee machine makes like the most amazing coffee, but 30 minutes later it tastes like shit. No, I just don't care about these games anymore, Adrius. You know, I'm more like Battle Brothers now than XCOM. If I want to play a game like that, I'm gonna go play Battle Brothers. But I can definitely see the attraction of XCOM. It's a pretty good game. Besides the greenskins, who do you want to see the next content patch or rework? Well, the Warriors of Chaos and the Beastmen are a very important part of the ecosystem, or should I say the world. And they bring replay value to the game by playing those factions totally differently than other factions. They need to create the feel of you ruining, destroying civilizations and spreading the chaos corruption. Because currently this is not it. Those campaigns, you know, how they say it, you know, those campaigns are AIDS. You know, I have to use the bad words here. You don't have a feeling like you're destroying civilizations, ending life on Earth, in the world, and spreading chaos corruption. The chaos corruption has to be improved. There has to be penalties, there has to be downsides, goddammit. Not just, you know, whack-a-mole, whack-a-ant system. And the fact we are not putting Warriors of Chaos and Beastmen campaigns in the mix, in the cycle of replaying campaigns, it ruins the replay value of the game. Because those campaigns are unique and should be more special than just the regular playstyle. Do you think those changes are more important than greenskin work? No, the greenskins is one of the main factions of the Warhammer universe, and it has to reach the Skaven level of polish. The fact the greenskins are shit and the Skavens are like they are right now, they just. I hope they put more effort in greenskins than they did in the Empire rework. The Empire rework is, you know, as much as it improved some things like technologies, it still felt like it was half-assed. The fate of the Empire has been ignored. The greenskins are currently the worst faction in the game by far, and other than some of the Norska issues, the Bloody Hands, I nominate Bloody Hands as the worst faction in the game in the amount of polish received. They have a really fun lord, but that faction has received no polish at all. But it's you know, clear why. It's been the first free DLC of the game, and they haven't put much effort into it. The worst faction by far, the Bloody Hands. We could go into detail. I'm sorry, Mirosh, taking shit on your favorite faction. Wurzak is a fun lord, strong lord, but that faction is just garbage. Even the Crooked Moon with its limited flavor, you know, as a try-hard faction is better. It's better, because, you know, you paid money for it. Well, the main issue with the current state of the Empire, the developers have completely forgot the fate part of the Empire. The fate-related units, the fate-related buffs regarding faction as a whole. I'm not talking about Battle Paraders, Archlectors, Warrior Priests, which are excellent, some of the best characters they have. The worship building is just lazy designed. Tier 5 does nothing, and the unique units of the Fate part of the Empire are missing. Flagellants Tier 3, what a joke. Flagellants more like MP Jans. The worship building should have 5 tiers and should provide faction-wide bonuses to all religious units. And you should have a Fate part of the Empire, you know, stackable and as a flavor in the game, and it is not right now, which makes Volkmar a joke. Just a melee expert with the regular playstyle. The Fate part of the Empire is been ignored. It's like this pretty much, without going into detail. Anybody, you know, who anybody know lore about the Empire can tell you this. They put too much into magic. Empire is some of the best magic in the game. They put too much into the gunpowder part of the game. Maybe not even that too much, because you know some things that make no sense, like the war wagons not using proper range buffs. But there is the gunpowder part of the game, there is the magic part of the game, but the Fate part of the Empire has been neglected. Other than that, I expect there might be a increase update for this in Warhammer 3. But Generals of the Empire and the Empire Captains are some of the most generic characters in the game that have no flavor at all. No flavor. They don't bring anything special to the army, no unique set of skills. Their portraits are ugly, they sound like they're on helium. It's just bad. No flavor, nothing special about them. Why would you ever recruit one of them over an Archlector or a Huntsman General? Is all other than multiplayer. No flavor. Bretonia is an example of a 3LC where they actually put a lot of effort. Bretonia is amazing. Bretonia is amazing. The only thing I would actually want to do with Bretonia is maybe give them another victory condition. So do this or that. It's like the only thing that's missing with Bretonia. The Greenskins are the punching bag of the Warhammer universe. They're supposed to be fun. They're supposed to, you know, have flavor, but they don't. I really think Greenskins should be one of the big threats of the world. Greenskins should be one of the big threats of the world, and the dwarves should always die without help. Dwarves should have even limited. Guys, in the last campaign, dwarves had 23 armies. 23 armies. Who the fuck is Greenskins here? The Blue Tide or the Green Tide? It looks like the developers have created the new Greenskins. In their vision of the Warhammer universe, the dwarves are the Blue Tide, the Greenskins, while the Greenskins are some random trash faction. Nobody should go into Badlands like it's nothing. There should be like millions of Greenskins there. Nobody should even dare go there. And they just bully them. There is one thing they could do with dwarves. They need to nerf dwarves' climate system and buff the Greenskin climate system. That would be a big starter. The Greenskins need more replenishment, and they just need overall more numbers. They created dwarves what the Greenskins are supposed to be, except they have some of the highest quality in the game. It's still bad for the gameplay, and it makes no sense. 23 armies, guys. We counted. 23 armies. They didn't even have as much settlement as the Empire. They outnumbered the next two top factions, dwarves. The fact that factions can take wastelands like the dwarves, it's really bad. Dwarves should just have certain climates green. Everything else should be bad for the dwarves. And the greenskins don't even have temperate climate green. The Badlands should pretty much be the Chaos Wastes. Instead of dying just by being there, you're gonna get murdered. Because you're not gonna be there for 5 minutes without a million greenskins jumping on you. You go to sleep, million night goblins out of nowhere. You have some kind of small force, you're surrounded. Million orcs. That's what the Badlands are supposed to be. It's fucking Badlands, not Fairlands. The climate system has to be. They have to revisit it. The Greensea climate system is really bad, and the Dwarf climate system is overpowered. I mean, the dwarves outnumber the Skaven and the Greenskins, and they just have more quality as well. The Skaven have the quality, but their numbers are poorly represented compared to a faction like dwarves. Why can dwarves have 23 armies? Who can defeat the dwarves and auto-resolve with their artillery and the range units? The Lackland Skyr, yeah. Of course. The Badlands have to be a dangerous place to live. They need to make the Badlands that unless you are surrounding the Badlands with all territories combined, you should not even go there. It's the Badlands. The fact we have every random faction going to Badlands like it's nothing, it's like make me regret I read any of the lore. Why would anybody even take the Badlands? Why would the dwarves even settle there? There's nothing there. Only the Greens can survive there. They should probably put some kind of penalty around Norska territories that is hard to hold for non-chaos factions, and some bad things happen. And same for the Badlands for the non-greenskin factions. Because this state of the greenskins makes me cry, and I actually like greenskins. I just hate it. Just hate it how they done it. Greens is just neglected. Neglected. I think that's the right word. Neglected. That's basically, shows the state of greenskins in this game. Neglected. For Warhammer 1 it was acceptable, but the moment the beasts were released, the greenskins just like became, they looked really bad. I think the moment the Beastmen got released, the Greenskin just like, why are they still a faction? And Warhammer 2 has Lizardmen. Lizardmen is probably what Greenskin should be. Minus the dinosaurs. Guys, just let me blow your mind. Let me blow your mind. Orc Begans, Saurus. Orc Begans, Saurus. You notice any differences? It's the same fucking unit. Copy pasta. But Saurus can be godlike. Why can't the Biggins be godlike? Well, they don't have many things, Kubche, but it's the same unit. So you're telling me the Saurus with shields are supposed to be stronger than Biggins with dual wield? Because, you know, they're like twice in their strength. So this is even worse. What Kubche said there is even worse. They don't have shield guys, yet they're still weaker than the Saurus. They're one of the most vulnerable units in the game, in the whole game, to projectiles. They're bulky, they're huge, and they can't kill shit. They don't have attack, they don't have damage, they don't have charge. Who's to blame? Multiplayer probably, but multiplayer you know blame for everything. But the greenskins, just the greenskins, man, is like bad. The saving grace of the greenskins, why you know the still playable somewhat. Grimgor, Azak, Burzak, Black Orcs, Arachnarok Spiders, Doom Divers, and to some extent Night Goblins. But it's so very underwhelming compared to the quality and the lead of other factions. Arachnarok Spider is probably stat-wise there with Warhammer 2 units. But that unit is supposed to be very powerful. It was one of the most overpowered units in Warhammer 1, the Arachnarok Spider. Now that they made it not to tire by shooting and having anti-large, it's probably there with Warhammer 2 quality units, but that doesn't say much for the rest of the greenskins. Hey Malan Pico, thank you. There's a million things they can do to improve greenskins, but of everything I do hope there was just increase the size of their armies. Not add some shitty chain army on a probably like a ball chain more than like an army that destroy all initiative, all inconvenience of making an attack, and you have to rely on their their behavior. So they either have to make the whole army increase in size, like Black Orcs 80 becoming 100, for example. Single entities will probably get various buffs and resistances. Just size of the army, like there's a extreme ultra. So basically, in Three Kingdoms, you have extreme unit scale, and the greenskins on a stage of a VA should be extreme, while every faction is on ultra, while they have the VA going. Or those VAs that follow the Marine should be controlled by the player, and there should be free armies. That's maybe even better. Or both at the same time. Both at the same time. This is just like the most basic thing they need to do, you know, to make the green skins show their numbers and strength. The green skins are not supposed to match other factions with most of their stuff. They're supposed to, you know, be just numbers. But they supposed to wear you down. They're supposed to wear you down. Right now, their presence beyond the early game does not exist. Something like that, Slipknot Church. Like Metal and Shadow are probably same tier. Something like that. Some of the other screenshots, meaning like from before. Because you can always go back in video if you want to see other screenshots. You can go to the click this link here, and you can watch. You can just check all my screenshots yourself. It's public. I was spoiled about everything. I've seen a lot of stuff, yeah. A lot of stuff. What's next? It's gonna be Wintertooth when I feel like it soon. Soon. What's this one here? $200 on. What's that long dwarf campaign? The victory results more than anything else around him. The victory results got changed with the Bertonia in Warhammer 1. And out result got changed with Tomb Kings. It's been the same since. More or less. How does the Curse of Undead work? Runian asks. When you cast a spell, it triggers for the duration, it says. Every time you cast a spell. Keep in mind, you cannot overwrite it with a new one unless the old one is expired. So if it has duration 10 seconds, for example, you cast a spell, it will last 10 seconds on all the units that can be affected. And then you can cast another spell and it gets affected again. It's basically an effect that goes when you cast spells map wide on all your units. Or enemy units, depending on the lore of magic. How about Lord of Dark? Power of Darkness is the only spell that gives you more winds of magic. I mean, the dark magic is good. Is good. Probably there we not like for the fifth spot. But just not as good as the other schools. Any plans for the day? A Wintertooth campaign.
Oh my god.
Probably in a few hours. Thank you, MRC. This is a pretty screenshot. This is a pretty screenshot. This not only, you know, was Kazrak, you know, getting built like this, but it's pretty much for every non-mounted lord in the game. The funny thing is, on Chariot, he's still way stronger. Way stronger on a Chariot. Getting knockback around is really bad. When did the 3 times chaos? You guys vote between 5 and 10 times because it's a master campaign. This is the only bad thing here, he doesn't have perfect vigor. The Beastmen and Chaos don't have the same privilege of getting perfect vigor like the other factions, which is sad. Oh, you guys remember that bug? Where the Legendary Lord would be supervising regular lords. And we went through so many bugs in 7,000 hours of Warhammer series that I forgot about some of them. I have nearly 7,000 hours in the Warhammer series of Total War. 7,000 hours. This one was weird. And the best thing is somebody tried to explain this. So this is where we were on the map, on the border between Argvelon and Paramon. This area here. And this is the battlefield we got. Can somebody find the clip of that battle with the siege towers? Oh, the very hard campaign of Clan Morse, guys. Very hard campaign. Look how hard this is. Turn 16. Turn 16. Let's see. It's still the hardest campaign in the game, according to the developers. Normal, hard, normal, no hard. Ooh, Calisodic is very hard. Yeah, that was also very hard Kappa. So there are 2 very hard campaigns, I guess.
Only I dare.
Very hard.
No one controls
Very hard initial challenge. This just put it randomly, man. Very hard. Turn 16. It's very hard. Look at this. It's turn 16 and we still have positive income. So they put this faction. It doesn't matter, Giselle. It doesn't matter. Just let me show you. Let me show you just prime examples. Cetra is easy initial challenge. Fighting savage orcs, right? Easy. While Clan Morse is very hard. This is easy. Easy campaign, boys. These initial challenges are so off. The Savage Orcs can wreck you in the beginning if you don't know what you're doing. A new player will have trouble against Savage Orcs. Savage Orcs probably some of the strongest units in the early game in melee. I don't remember this one. You have to be a really bad strategy player to find Skaven or Clan Moros any hard. A complete noob to strategy games. Oh, I really love this army. I really love this army. I remember this now. Look at this, guys. When you have the money and you want to bully people, you get an army like this. Clan Morse is the easiest Skaven campaign before the release of Ikit Claw. I put a lot of thought in this army composition. You have any idea how hard it was to get the right, title on the Shield Wizard? Sieges? I guess you never used Sword of Cain before. Clan Pestilence, normal.
Will fall to pestilence.
They added a new neighbor to Lord Skrolk. This guy is next to him, and this is normal now. Lord Skrolk was a super easy campaign before they added Gorok. You can get the people don't know you can get artillery very early. Probably developers didn't even plan for that. The Clan Morse don't even have any threats in the beginning. Well, this guy is Gorok. Tell us your thoughts about the main Belegar. Belegar, huh? This is one of the best campaigns in the game. One of the best campaigns in the game. What? What was that? The game crashed. Not even the faction selection screen is safe anymore. Fucking hell is... It just started lagging and crashed. Oh my god. What was I saying? Yeah, Belgar has one of the most fun campaigns because those dwarf ghosts are a lot of fun. And you know how the game crashed because the RAM just got dumped and takes forever to start the game again. I reinstalled it. I rage quit in the morning and I uninstalled the game. I deleted everything, and it's a fresh install.
We must preserve this world.
50% upkeep. Well, you have 4 ghosts. You have 4 ghosts, and you cannot be beat. You cannot be beat with 4 ghosts. You know what's worse than dwarves for the greenskins? Dwarves, wraiths. How can you lose? How can you lose? You have an invincible army with one of their best melee experts. How can you lose? You just have to take the initiative. If you have issues with Belagar campaign, I suggest you watch my Belagar campaigns. This is very powerful, and this is an illusion of difficulty. It's just the campaign start, might seem like it might be a little like a molly, but you're dwarf, elevate people. Your only enemy greenskins, undead, and they're getting bullied. Greenskins won't be strong forever. What they can do against dwarf wraiths? Those are some of the most powerful heroes in the game. Let's go see. Easy campaign. This campaign is a little bit of a try-hard. Requires some experience in the use of abilities. Easy campaign. This one is a little bit deceptive. If you're a new player, you might have some issues. But as long as you're familiar with game mechanics, it's a very easy campaign. This faction is one of the most broken. Broken is a word I don't like using, because then people just throw it around like it's nothing. But one of the most overpowered effects in the game. It's not very friendly with new players. New players might get confused with this guy. New players should play Tyrion or Alariel, and the Teclis and the Alitanar are for more advanced players. But the High Elves are the most overpowered faction in the game, numero uno. And the fact you can start confederating from the start, it's just ridiculous. So, beginner friendly, new player, this is probably where you want to start the game. Teclis, get some experience. Lastria is a mentality thing. Only hard if you read it, so many people said it's hard. There are ways to use the Lastria against the enemies. Alariel, pretty much in the same boat as Tyrion. Instead of having a powerful fighter, you have a powerful support, similar to that level of the Faint Chantress. Alitanar, not recommended for new players, same as the Teclis. Mazda Mundi, we have not played Immortal Empire, so I cannot really give you my input. I don't want to talk out my ass not playing a faction or playing faction only once. But it starts with a terror unit, and you have Croxigors, and you can recruit Saurus. It just, for me, it looks like that sometimes might be problematic dealing with the Skeggy, especially if they spam the champions. So a little bit unpredictable. New players might find issue with this, but anybody with experience will have easy work with this, I think. Krogar is probably the most powerful lizard in the faction, the defection effect, and he's one of the top lords in the game. They just have dirt cheap army that cannot be beaten. The only thing that's going for Gorok that Krogar doesn't have, Gorok has Itza, basically in Lastria, and he starts with Krog. Other than that, Krogar is better in every way. This is pretty much Grimgor. This is Grimgor. While this guy is the top dog, not Grimgor. So instead of having high damage, he has his tanky. Carlos Sodek, this is a try-hard faction. This is a category. If you want to play a faction that has either a tough position, tough setup, and just there exists for some kind of flavor and challenge, this is it. We played this faction once. We had an easy time, very hard faction. Only once, never played before, and I got bored so much we didn't even finish the campaign. It was just top 5 boring factions in the game. Tic-tac-toe was a big surprise. People were so disappointed when this guy got announced. We called him Tic-tac Joke. Tic-tac Joke. But this is a really fun faction. Highly recommend if you haven't played before. You can learn some new strategies, especially strategies which are not used before. I used to go sometimes with Kroger, a lot of Terranons. With these guys, you got Terranons for sure. These guys have been a surprise. I recommend try this faction. A lot of fun. I have not played Nakai, so I can't really tell you. The only problem with the tic-tac-toe, his economy is slow. So it's gonna be a long early game. You might try a little risk more and expand it faster, but it is how it is. While the Kroger doesn't have this issue and he has really cheap stuff. Nakai I have not played. We'll play him eventually. Not playing right now. Thank you, Wilmer. Gorok, this is a faction you want to start if you're new to the game. Same as Tyrion. This is an overpowered faction. Starts with Lord Croak. Have pretty much the same, similar playstyle like Kroger. He has the better starting city, one of the best cities in the game. While Kroger starts at the end of the map. So he has this going for him. It's pretty much for the Lisbon. The Malekith is a bit tricky. Don't recommend really to new players the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves can all have really random starts. It's quite tricky being in this area because there are so many factions around you. It's a really powerful province. The Dark Elves are probably the second most overpowered faction in the game. But this is not really new player friendly. If you are new to the game and you played Malekith and you did good, you know what you're doing. This faction might even get a little bit easier when Malus is in the Black Flood. But a lot of random things can happen. We're talking strictly about legendary difficulty here. A lot of random things can happen because you might go into war with multiple factions and you want to try to build up. If you build up Iron Mountains before the Norsca goes against you, you can use diplomacy again. It requires knowledge of the game to make the smooth game. But Malekith is one of the most powerful lords in the game. Most powerful economists in the game. One of the most powerful factions in the game. So it's pretty easy if you know what you're doing. But as a new player, you might find it difficult to play Malekith. Same goes for Marathi. You can have a really hard time here, depending what is going on in the early game, who focuses you, and sometimes you need to go for an ambush, sometimes you need to get lucky, you know, to go turn ahead. It's all about the initiative and how you set up the beginning. This actually is hard, and even less recommended than Malekith for a new player. She also starts with a great city, great province, but in a tighter spot than Malekith. Harganet, same boat as Malekith, just on the other side. Some bad things can happen in the beginning. There's some whack-a-mole situation. She does have a strong capital, so same as Malekith. So it's basically just difficulty how much the early game will extend. I would not recommend Dark Elves to new players. Get knowledge of the game before you play Dark Elves. Lokir is one of those try-hard factions, same as Tehenwen, and being a free ALC, you know, read that as not as high quality as you know, paid content. We played him once and we had an easy time, but you know, I have knowledge of the game. But random things can happen here. You have to accept this. But Dark Shards, they exist. Skaven might seem quite complicated to people, especially to people who have not learned that the range is the king in the game. This is one of the easiest Skaven factions in the game. Have a really strong location. I even play at this Stalwart style with this faction, and I had no problem until the game bugged. The way they have this positioned with this movement here and movement here, and the fact they can get this. You can get this turn 16, a Doomstack, really easy. He has cheaper Stone Vermin. The key for Skaven, if you have not learned the secret in the beginning, is to rush your second settlement to tier 3, immediately unlock Blacklock Catapults and maybe Stone Vermin. You don't even need Stone Vermin. But in this character case, he has 30% cheaper Stone Vermin. This is a good faction to start playing Skaven if you want to start on the other side of the map. This is a strong lord, one of the top duelists against infantry. Lots of fun. Lord Scroll was pretty much the same as Quick Head Taker, just different flavor. But since the Goro got introduced and people are intimidated by Lastria, not really recommended to new players unless you have experience with strategy games. So this is, I would say, pretty much the same, just different location. You might have difficulties with Gorok, and that's it. Have you guys seen my Clan Peasants campaign, the last one? Well, diplomacy exists. Trade Carentel, this is a standard tryhard faction. Is the weakest of all the Skaven clans, Skaven Legend Lords. Just have a different location here. Pretty much try hard with bad bonuses. This his faction effects seem like flavor, but actually work against you in the grand scheme of things. So we have another try-hard faction. Ikit Claw is probably the most overpowered faction effects in the game. We don't have to really keep going about that. It's the easiest Skaven clan to play, and if you can't succeed with this guy, there's no hope for you with Skaven. The Vampire Coast is also one of those factions which are not really friendly to new players, because they might miss the point. But this is a combination of Empire and the Vampires. They don't have the best of both worlds. They have above average of both worlds. They have some of the most powerful units in the game, like the Necroflex Colossus is the one of the most powerful units in the game. It's like a steam tank on steroids. It's like a giant, like it's supposed to be a giant with big cannons. They have shipbuilding mechanic, which gives them super advantage. And the fact they have pretty much standard lords. They have a set of 4 legendary extra lords, which you don't even see here, and one of them is pretty much stronger than a lot of these regular legend lords. The notorious Admiral Berg Black. They made shit so overpowered that there's so many ways to build that shit. So not really new players might have issue with this, but the secret is mortars. Mortars, and treating everything as expendable until you get quality. This is a good way to start playing the Vampire Coast for the first time. Luther Harkon, recommend this one at first. Count Noctilus just up there. He starts with Necrophis Colossus. This is the most powerful unit they have, one of the most powerful units in the game. These are easy, strong factions, but if you're not experienced in the game, you might find difficulty, especially if the obvious things are not obvious to you. As in, mortars dominate early game. Arnesa is one of those try-hard factions, not because it's actually hard, but because it's cringe. Moving on. Selosa Darfin is supposed to be a try-hard faction, But if you know what you're doing, her capital is Lothern. You rush Lothern, you take E10, and she's supposed to take over Ultuan. We played her, and she's a lot of fun. She is probably the most fun out of all four factions. She's a strong lord, a lot of fun, woo! And has very powerful flavor because of the raid team. Highly recommend if you haven't played this faction, make sure to rush Lothern. Mortars murder elves. Our capital is Lothern. That's the key to the campaign. We played only once. We did not reach the victory condition, but we were snowballing, dominating. We led it to the critical mass. This is a really nicely done faction. This faction is pretty much should be the how they do these factions, the extra ones, and this faction is how they should not do these things. Yeah, no, cringe, delete that shit from the game. Hell yeah! Good job, Mr. Developers. This is it. More factions like this, CA, please. What is the reason Lothern is her capital? Well, it's the nature of her campaign. She kind of shipwrecked here, but she's supposed to be in Ultuan. That's why she's dead. Ultuan is her continent, Lothern is her capital. That's the only you need to know. We have the Tomb Kings here. Probably the best work CA has done on a DLC. If you don't have this, highly recommend buy. Not sponsored by Sega at all. And one of the most fun lords in the game, one of the best voiceovers in the game. Also, a very overpowered faction, which is a little bit deceptive with the power level, because the way the early game works, they have to unlock armies. And it makes it a little bit slow. Cetra is also one of the most powerful melee experts in the game. Like very few equals. It's like maybe 4 or 5 other lords are stronger than Cetra in melee. This is the way to play Tomb Kings. They have really friendly campaign management because of all the public order he gets. And he's so powerful. And you even start with tier 5 unit. Just don't underestimate the Savage Orcs. But if you know how to apply pressure with the terror, you'll be fine. Just have to be careful. Strictly talking, legend difficulty. Tomb Kings might not be the best, entry into the game, but if you know what you're doing, it's super strong. We have a tryhard faction here on the other side of the game. This is one of the most boring factions in the game, in my opinion. If you wanna hear my feelings, playing this game, just play this clip, and you can make Lothern your vassal. It's guaranteed. Just keep paying attention to diplomacy. So if you want a challenge, if you want something different, Eggs of Neck is the way. The way Booker says it, it's basically if you want to play Tomb Kings, they don't have to fight Tomb Kings in the early game. Although I love fighting Tomb Kings, so everybody gets their own thing. Same for Coro Liberas, another tryhard faction. Another tryhard faction, Lord. Supposed to be somewhat good, but when I see her item, it's like I just wanna run away. Arkan the Blake, pretty much in the same boat as the Khalida. Cetra is the way to play Tomb Kings, but this is one if you wanna experience things differently. I think Arkan the Blake is missed flavor, and his chariot is a bit wonky, but he's a powerful lord otherwise. And it feels like you're playing a mod which hasn't been properly, polished, or just was half-assed overnight. Empire, this is a good entry in the game. Easy. It is supposed to be easy. You get a strong capital, strong province, lots of money. They've been reworked. They have basically some of the best technology design of all factions. This is also my favorite lord. Most people will probably start with Cal France as their first campaign since Warhammer 1. The Empire is probably most people's favorite faction to go. Volkman is basically just missed flavor in a faction that is missing that part of the game. You get him for melee expert with a quality army. He's really tanky, but why would you start with him when you can start with Cal France? Geld has been moved to Solent. I have not played him, but he's still Geld. He's a powerful wizard since they buffed the magic. He has powerful effects with the armor. So basically just a different start. The way they moved Geld out of the Empire made Karl Franz actually finally able to lead his faction again, and the Geld is having his own faction. Geld is powerful, so if you want to play Empire that starts with a wizard, you start with Geld. Marcus Wulhard is one of those try-hard factions that, just exists for the sake of try-hard and some flavor. We played him once, and we did good. I'm not intimidated by the Lastria, but I do recognize the issues in Lastria. We played him while he was overpowered. I think they fixed him since then. Dwarves, probably the third most overpowered faction in the game, right after the Master Race Elves, and they're getting even more powerful with new traits. I used to recommend this faction to beginners, but not anymore. The greenskins actually have super aggro on the Silver Road now. They definitely changed this. Patch notes. Who cares about patch notes? We just change things the way they want. The behavior of the greenskins around the dwarves: kill, 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 and you're gonna get overrun here and have hard time playing dwarves. So there's easier factions now than dwarves. But the moment they succeed the early game, they're pretty much unstoppable. Some of the highest quality units and the easiest playstyle in the game. Also have the most powerful technology tree in the game. Of course, I said this many times, if you know what you're doing, this might be one of the most fun and the easiest factions in the game. This is my favorite faction in the game as well. Gromdal is basically just part of the dwarves. He's super overpowered, and he makes the High King look bad. Going on. Elgar is a different way to play dwarves, because they're not in the same position as the dwarf faction, the Karzakarak. He has a different objective and different start. So if you want to play the dwarves differently, with a bit of a challenge, he's definitely one to pick. Same goes with Karakadrin. Karakadrin is just a flavor faction of dwarves. All dwarves are strong, so you can't really go bad with dwarves. Coming to the weakest faction in the game, the most neglected one, the greenskins. Do not recommend you play this faction right now, unless you wanna. I don't know what's even the right word. It's kind of like I don't know, because you think it's fun, but after a while, it's gonna get depressing, and you're gonna quit, and you're gonna start drinking again. These are basically greenskins. Crooked Moon is a tryhard faction, one of the most difficult ones in the game, with a nice flavor, but it lacks polish to further support the Goblin flavor, which hopefully gets fixed in the future. This faction is exciting to play, but it can make you pull your hair out. I have over 50 days of playing this faction. That's how long the campaigns can be. I lost one of these campaigns with the rules as well. Longest defeat ever, 15 days into defeat. Wurzak is a flavor faction with a strong lord, strong start, but it falls apart, after like 30 turns. Once you realize it's basically just Wurzak and shit faction. Vampire counts, Don't recommend playing right now. There's a crash with invocation and hack. They kind of ruined the experience with that. But when you know how to use their whole package, their units, their magic, their faction effects, Vampiric Corruption, one of the strongest things about them, it's really powerful. They have the most powerful lord in the game, the Lord of Vampires. Supports the army and does serious damage. And they're one of the toughest faction to invade by the AI as well. They have some of the best garrisons in the game too. Dwarves are the ones that have the best garrisons, followed by the Skaven, and then the Empire and the Vampires are probably in the third spot. You have Gorst, the best starting lord of Vampire counts because of his effects. He's even easier to start than Mumford. You're gonna grow Mumford anyways. Mumford is your leader, but you could start as Gorst if you want. Pretty easy faction to play. Might even be a good one to start with, but in the current state of the game, you're gonna suffer with the Vampire counts. We have the Von Karsteins. They start with the minus elements, and always people trying to find a way to destroy a Mumford, just have an easy early game because they don't have Dragonhof. They made actually Von Karsteins harder with the new update. The rest of the Sylvania is held by Mumford now. Mumford controls everything. There is no Templehof. Vlad and Isabella are super flavor. They are the package, very powerful. I won this campaign with a full flying army in like campaign was like 70 turns. Victory screen. This is a easy campaign, powerful faction, powerful flavor, and a lot of fun. Kemmler is what you call a try-hard faction. He does have issues with corruption and getting the economy up, but you can go with the free skeletons, and it feels a little bit of grind. The fact the elves are so close to Bretonia makes this a little bit of a challenge. You can have a really difficult time. Norska used to be the top dog in Warhammer 1, now they just they feel like they don't belong. They don't belong. Wulfric belongs a little bit more, but their systems, their traits, and some other stuff, especially their provinces, they've got radiation from the Norscan territories. Wulfric is a very powerful lord, one of the top melee experts in the game. They fixed the mammoths, they're stompy. Has a powerful item, powerful faction management. We don't even manage Norscan territories. Mammoths are incredibly strong, and he can be a lot of fun. I hate Norska, but I admit the power level of Wulfric, and I admit he can be fun as well. But I just, being an Empire fanboy, which Empire fanboy likes Norska? If you are not an Empire fanboy, and Sigmar's disown you if you like both Empire and Norska. You have to hate Norska. But I still recognize his power level, the mammoth strength. If you haven't played it, it can be quite potent. He doesn't even have to stay at home, he can just travel the world. Wintertooth is on those try-hard factions with a bad flavor. Probably one of the worst factions in the game. We're gonna be playing this today. I do not like this faction, but we're gonna do it anyways, because it's expected of me. If you like bleeding from every I forgot that fancy word, every hole of your body, this is the faction you want to play. Bretonia. Let me show you guys something. Why does everyone hate Bretonia? Oh no, Wimpy Bretonia are coming. I'll try them again and see if they get any better. I regret to inform you they still have mediocre cavalry. Mediocre cavalry. Hold on. Their lore is still awful, their aesthetics remain there, I guess their low up is nice. Okay, we don't. If you wanna go read that, check the internet. I was saying the Bretonia was overpowered, among the most powerful factions since they got the list in Warhammer 1. They make fun of me when I played my first Bretonia campaign with a full cavalry army, but the next week everybody, you know, was master of the universe with all the wisdom. Like, yeah, that's how we do it. I knew that from day one. They have powerful lords, powerful heroes, the strongest, highest quality in the game with the most buffs of any units that receive in the whole game. They have one of the strongest units in the game as well. They're all Hippogriff Knights, without equal in melee, really. The Bretonia early game, if you don't know how to take Marienburg early, you might be a little bit struggle. Norska is up there, but you know, I can't tell you how to play the game. The peasants are a multiplayer thing. Cavalry is single player. Once you know this secret, you know, everything works. You might, still use a lot of artillery. They're peasants. The artillery is powerful, especially for the sieges. But flying units are more powerful than artillery. So, moving on. Albrecht, slightly bit easier early game than Luen. He starts with a really nice trade spot, one of the best resources in the area. You just make friends with the elves and go over your face and, you know, say how good you are and count all the money all day long. We just played Carcassonne recently. This is one of the easiest campaigns in the game. This is one of the best support lords in the game. And if you have not seen my Carcassonne campaign, what we did the last one, it's like not sure somebody's gonna come. Somebody's gonna come next week, and there's something better about Bretonia. Hey Cookies, man, you may not be interested in history, but I love it and watch some good historical lectures on YouTube. This shit is nothing compared to some branded idiots post. Yeah. We have the Wood Elves, overpriced DLC, cause the mini campaign. For fuck's sake, just make the Beastmen and the Wood Elves in one DLC. Don't overcharge for that shit. Wood Elves was one of my top 5 favorite factions. I really enjoy playing Wood Elves. I just love archers. They have the best in the game. Their just campaign does not fit Warhammer 2. Past the early game, it makes no sense. Their outposts limit expansion, force alliances, and the playstyle becomes limited. Otherwise, a really strong faction, maybe not for the new player, because they might miss the point of what's going on here. AFK, expand, ally, win. They are very powerful, they are elves, master race of the game. Durtu, pretty much just different flavor, Wood Elves. He's one of the most powerful lords in the game. Top 5 wizards, top 5 melee experts, top 5 duelists. It's just, if you want a guy to murder people, just, you know, dominate in melee to the point where just they ignore him on the battlefield, because, you know, he might be a little bit slow. You get him speed on and they'll not ignore him that much. Optimus Spine is the way to go. You can even have a full melee army with his streaking. They're basically unkillable with all the toughness that they get. You can heal them easily as well. Lots of fun, but the elves fall apart after like 70 turns, 80 turns, because this faction does not fit Warhammer 2. They need rework. Same for the Beastmen, pretty much. I wish they were separated in different factions. Overpriced. They have a couple of things going for them. Used to have a lot of fun with the Beastmen, but right now they feel like they just don't belong. The developers have kind of destroyed any feeling of playing Beastmen or Chaos. These factions are supposed to be moving around, destroying civilizations, ending hope for anybody, and spreading chaos corruption. Just painting the whole mob grey in ruins. But instead, you just stomp here, million ants move in every direction, make another step, they're back like nothing happened. Corruption is shit, There is no feeling destroying civilizations of all. You just play them to have a little bit fun with Minotaurs, their lords, and that's it. They have unique mechanics. They're horde, they hide, they can hide. They never need to fight fair battles. The faction just turns out into a whack-a-mole, siege phase after 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 siege phase. The whole campaign. Their best lord is Malagor, has some of the most powerful faction effects of all lords in the game, and he can also get a really nice flavor with his set of skills. But all three beastmen start in different locations. You can still get all three. I wish they would separate them in 3 different factions, but that's just what I think. Same for the chaos. Same in the same boat as the beastmen. Don't recommend play these factions, especially to new players that just try hard, don't fit in the world. We want good factions to win, and we don't really want ending of civilizations.
For chaos.
I
am Slanesh's sire, handsome and lethal.
Handsome and lethal. How do we got in this Jibber Jabber here, huh? Emperor campaign, guys, got bugged. If you missed it, I loaded the campaign. Just got kicked back to the main menu. We think it's something to do with the bugged lord, but who knows what it is. Instead of sleeping, I was just messing with this, frustrated, and we can continue Emperor campaign. It's finished. The men of the months from Ruby are cursed. We'll be starting a new campaign shortly. It's probably gonna be Wintertooth. Probably gonna be Wintertooth. Let's say in about an hour, okay, guys. I just need to chill, meditate here a little bit. An hour. Half of my brain is turned off. Two people had wanted to request something. I'm not sure they are here, so there might be some more Man of the Month requests. Rubio got scammed. He didn't get scammed. We played over 8 hours, and campaign got wrecked. Don't say such things, please. It's very hurtful, especially in a frustrated state I'm in right now. Don't be toxic, please. He did request a thing, we played it, and it was over. It was only just a few hours, we might have even restarted, but we played over 8 hours and it's gone. Okay guys, we have a request. I will not be winter today. Nerfy has requested Tyrion with extra chaos. We have pretty much 5 long days to finish the campaign. Probably gonna reach critical mass by then or die. So plenty of time. We have a long stream, so should be enough time. Nerfy had a request, yep. It's up to you guys to decide if it's gonna be how much chaos is gonna be. Let me just open a poll. Please guys, spam this every 5 minutes before we start the campaign. Vote for whatever you want. We have about 50 hours we can put in this campaign before DLC. Campaign ends when DLC is released. I completed Dwarves and Empire with 10 times chaos. I lost Avalon. Victor Skin, Critical Mass or the DLC release will end the campaign. We wanna try all the new factions, but we're probably not gonna finish any of them. Just Critical Mass. Unless I really feel like finishing them. Out of the all 3, I like the Bretonia the most so far. The Snitch looks also pretty good. I like the starting position. Malus I already don't like. Feels like forceful try-hard faction. Yeah, exactly, Cookies, exactly. Where does the Clan Nation start? Right furthermost eastern part of the world. Almost feel like they start on the road to China, but there is no China. One of those countries nobody know they exist, between like Iraq and China. Look at his face. What more do you want from us? I love when the people shit talk the trolls. I don't understand what the unit is about. That's from the Crooked Moon campaign. And that bell, this bell, oh man, this is like... This hurt. Look at that, getting nearly 500 kills against dwarves with trolls and still losing the battle because we can't kill the Ungrim. It's hurt. Look at those goblin archers against the dwarves. This is like ridiculous. Look at this shit. It's the dwarves. Look at this one. Was our first Crooked Moon in Warhammer 2. I was snowballing so hard and I still lost the campaign. Jesus Christ, man, this campaign was a nightmare. 15 days. 15 days and still lost the campaign. You can watch this campaign on YouTube if you missed it. It was a nightmare. From early game to the end. Link in the campaign, well, you go to YouTube, there are playlists there, and it should be one of the oldest campaigns here. We have see how many campaigns we have. The Empire was the first campaign, Crooked Moon was the second campaign. And there you go. 26 videos into defeat. And you want to hear the best thing? The battle difficulty was bugged. It was normal, not very hard. We played another Crooked Moon campaign. We had a survival Crooked Moon if you missed it. It was finished in one sitting. And this was a battle. This was a battle. Like big armies of orcs against big armies of undead. That's like most fun fights with the orcs against the vampire counts. Tomb Kings have strong large units, so it's not as fun, but close. I wish I highlighted this battle. I'll definitely love to rewatch this one. I have to find it somewhere in the Crooked campaign. It was a real grinder, yeah. These days, Orc War bosses just make me depressed. Last time I seen an Orc War boss fight, he missed like 8 or 9 times against a Dwarf Lord. Not even a Dwarf Lord, it was a Rune Lord. What the fuck happened? Watch towards the end of the campaign. An alliance of Nagarond, Vampire Coast, and Clan Pestilence destroyed us. We couldn't win any battles, so I slowly just melted. That was before Malekith got nerfed. Malekith was super overpowered for a long time. It's like Warhammer 1. Good old Warhammer 1 balance of power. This is the reason why they nerfed that shit. Reichsmarschall Roman. That is Roman. He went back to play Warhammer 1. I think this was my first Norse campaign. This is a highlight of this battle, I think. This is a highlight of this battle. The good old Warhammer 1 traits. The good old Warhammer 1 traits. Man, Warhammer 1 is so ugly compared to the Warhammer 2. There's a new campaign starting in like 30 minutes. Ah, the Norska box formation. Nothing to see here, boys. Moving on. Where do I stand with the squad type RTSs? No time. What was my first Total War? Total War Shogun. In Warhammer 1, the Norse would just smash your formations, so the best one was always the box. So you don't get flanked on the bad sides. They always go to your line if you don't deploy properly. This is against Norska. Norscan Warhammer 1 was a big threat. Really big threat. Okay, I'll leave you to this, boys. Stream will soon restart, and I'll be back with Lothern, requested by Nerfy. I'll see you guys soon.
Hey boys, is you ready? We're gonna give him a proper war. I can hear you. Louder, louder. Here it comes, boys. This is it. Who's gonna show them humans them spiky chaos boys, and them metal targets. Why squeeze the bestest? Hold on to your dagger, boys. This is gonna be a true and proper war. Is you ready? We're gonna give him a proper war. I can hear you. Louder, louder. Here it comes, boys. biggest and the baddest. That's how because green is bestest. We always looking for a fight, cause all your good acts die. Cut your trap and get to fighting. No more time for boring yapping. We was made it for the winning. Time for being rather cunning. We may not know how to ride, we but know that ain't no crime. Quit your start and get right here. Teach your pants is what is fear. Peace, power. Dark on. For more and more. On to war. We Star Wars. Dark on. For more and more. Hear our roar. Alright lads, this is it. Who's gonna show them humans, them spiky chaos boys, and them Eldar kids, why we's the bestest. Hold on to your dagger boys, this is gonna be a true and proper war.